So to get him out, I used to buy about 15 cents, talk him into it. So we went to trains. I told him after the war, I'll buy you one. So sure enough, in the war, you couldn't get it there. So I bought it with the Transformers and everything.
Nice.
But who we used to play with mostly?
What do you want to talk about?
Huh?
You want to put anything on there?
What you put on?
I don't know. I said, is there something you want to put on?
Me? I got a sink.
Oh,
My computer's not working right.
Tell us about Joe's eating habits when he was a little boy.
oh yeah.
Huh?
You turn it
Yeah.
on and I'll.
It's been on.
Oh, it's on now. Okay.
Oh, you gotta have it on? You can't turn it on?
Anyway,
About Loopy.
you always told me that when I was a very small child, an infant,
Mm-hmm.
that I ate a lot of baby food.
That's right. I used to buy baby food by the cases. Gerber's baby food was used to be 4 dozen, 48 cans to a case. Yeah, 48. It used to come in jars, not in cans, jars. See, then I worked at the wholesale grocery. I used to get it by the wholesale, by the case. It used to have large barrels, wooden barrels. They used to become cube sugar in it. You know, about 100 pounds, 250 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And we had 2 of those barrels full of jars. We thought maybe we could sell them back to the company. But he ate everything. He ate vegetables, meat, fruit, you know, anything. But finally, my wife's mother, my wife, finally my wife's mother got him to sit at the table and eat with us, and he ate like a grown person.
How old was I when?
Yeah.
Didn't she put a dishcloth around my chest
Yeah,
and tie me to the back
tie
of
it
the
to the
chair?
back of the chair. That's when you ate the baby food.
Okay, but when I started eating at the table, eating
Oh, you were
food,
about 5, 6 years old then.
I ate baby food till I was
No,
11.
no. I said she said you can eat meat, you know, regular food, cooked food, you know, from the home.
I know, but how old was I when I started eating, directly
I
when
said,
I quit eating baby food?
oh, you was maybe about 2 years old, something like that.
2 years old?
About a year and a half to 2 years. You did, well, it didn't take long.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had a little Mexican friend that has a little stout boy named Lupe. Josie, come in to play with me. And he played all the time. And he used to like spaghetti all the time, like to eat spaghetti. So he'd go to eat. My mother-in-law would call him in to eat. And he says, I want Lupe to come with me to eat. So he said, no. So she says, come in, Lupe, you come in and eat too. So he said, okay. Well, it's well simple. We knew how to put it away.
Tell me about the first time you took Barbara to New York when she was a little girl.
Barbara?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I took my daughter, Barbara. She was about, let's see, yeah, she was, she could have got a free fare if you're up to 5 years old. She was 6, I think, 6 years old. So I told her, my wife and I told her, I said, look, if they ask you how old you are, say you're 5 years old, 6 years old. Don't forget now. So, so, we were on a train when we went to New York, and my wife was sitting in front of me, and I was in back seat because somebody else got that other seat. Those days you didn't have no reservation on seats or number. And she sat with my wife in the front, and I was sitting in the back. So when the conductor come around for the fare, he said, don't forget, tell her you're 6 years old. So the woman sitting next to her, she said, you know, I'm 5 years old. She tells the woman. So mother pushed her over to my side and says, put her over. She says, now you tell me you're 6, not 5. Oh, yeah, mother told me I'm 6 years old.
She was supposed to be, you mean she was supposed to be 5,
Yeah, but she was 6.
but she, okay, so,
Up to 5 years you can get free.
okay, but
No,
she kept telling people she was 6.
yeah, she was telling the people. We tried to tell her to keep quiet. You know,
Mm-hmm.
not to keep quiet. And when you went to New York, when I took you to New York with Barbara, that's the time when Aunt Hannah, you know, had the stroke, and they called for mother to come home. So it was this was on Saturday night, and Sunday I took it to, you couldn't go to the airport. You couldn't go, you had to go to a certain station, to pick up the bus and go to the airport. They take it at a hotel. And the plane was supposed to leave at 10 o'clock, and I got there at 8 o'clock at this hotel. We went inside, bought the ticket. There was a crowd of people going to Texas, and we waited. 10 o'clock come, no plane. 11 o'clock, no plane. 12 o'clock, no plane. There was a man there with a big cowboy hat going to West Texas, in a real West Texas, I think he was a ranch or something. Boy, he was putting away those drinks one after the other. He didn't have nothing to do. And he was cussing like anything. 2 o'clock, no plane. You know what? About 5 o'clock in the evening, the plane left because it broke. Something happened. They had to do some work on it. And wasn't many planes flying like they are today. And then was my job to take them home, both of them, my daughter and my son. You can imagine.
2 days and 2 nights.
2 days and 2 nights to feed them and take care of them, see at night, put them to sleep. And Joe was about 6 or 6 years. So during the day, here comes a woman comes on with, how many boys did she have? You remember? 1 boy or 2 girls? This little boy was real wild. She was going to a naval base to meet her husband. He's being brought back before going overseas. And he was running around, ran from one train to the other, and Joe ran after him. And he came back and he says, there's a little boy did something awful. I said, what? He opened the door and was hanging on the steps of the crane, holding on to the handle. So I told his mother. Boy, she ran back there and grabbed him, pulled him in there, and gave him a good licking. Remember?
I vaguely remember.
Yeah.
Vaguely.
You don't remember, huh?
No,
Yeah,
no.
you tell. Oh, he's doing something wrong.
I remember you buying the Lionel electric train at Macy's.
Yeah, Macy's. I took you to Macy's and I bought you this electrical train.
How much is that electric
It's
train?
$35.
$35.
Yeah, with the tracks and the transformer and the caboose, locomotive, coal car, about 4 or 5
4
cars.
or 5 cars.
Yeah. Then when I bought you this a tricycle, that was the thing. You remember? This. Oh, you were too young. This man who ran this auto supply store, he wanted to stock him. He wanted to know where we got him. I gave him the name of it, but he never could get it.
Where'd you get the tricycle?
In New York.
What year?
See, it was 1930. Let's see, I went 1940.
It must have been 1940.
Yeah, about 40, because that's the time you were able to get the train. 1942 or something. No, wait, 40, 45. About 45. Yeah, about 45 it was. You see, because it was one of a kind that you'd never seen one here, the kind he had. It was 2 wheels with pedals like a bicycle, but it had 3 wheels. It was 1 in front and 2 in the rear. And, oh yeah.
Okay, now, on February 3rd, you'd be 84 years old.
Right, February 3rd.
If you could live, in all the 84 years, if you could live one day over again, what day would that be? If you could live one day, if you could go back in all the 84 years and live one day over again, what would that day be?
Huh? What day?
What day would you choose to live over again? If you could live
Oh,
over
in the 20s.
in the 20s?
Yeah.
What was so good?
Huh? Because I did good there. I'm making the money. For my age, I was making too much money. Because I was, I hustled. You know what I mean? I didn't play around. I did, when I did a job, I meant,
No, you were driving the taxi then.
19,
In the 20s.
26.
Mm-hmm.
26.
Now you told me you have a very famous customer, Ed
Oh,
Sullivan.
yeah. I used to have a customer, Ed Sullivan. Remember Ed Sullivan, Joe? He just was starting as a reporter, entertainment reporter. And
What paper did he work for?
Graphic, they call it. It was a new paper. big office buildings, downtown New York. And opposite side, across the street from that, was they called the big companies, Standard Statistics Company. They had about 4 floors of offices, girls and young boys and men working there. See, they used to live across the river called New Jersey. And when it rained, they would take a taxi, but otherwise they walked to the station. And wasn't much customers coming out, so I used to go across the street to the graphic. So finally, I got a hold of him, and he stayed with me. And he would come down at 5 o'clock. He'd get off and come down. He'd get in. He'd tell me he wants to go to Sardi's. It's a club like where they get all the information about movie people and all that there. And while riding, he says, he give me a dollar bill, and he says, stop at one of those coffee pots. The coffee pots are just like they have fast foods here. That's what they call coffee pots, counter with just all your hot food and everything. He says, get me a sandwich. He told me what kind of ham sandwich or whatever it was, cheese sandwich, and he'd eat it while going to this restaurant. Because he's a young reporter, he wasn't making much money those days. Couldn't eat in that restaurant. I guess it was very high class. And he'd pay me, give me a nice tip all the time. And I'd be out there, 5 o'clock. Every time he'd come out, he'd take me and drive me to this restaurant. But I never knew he'd become a famous fan at that time. I used to even drive some gangsters in when I had the taxi cab when it was doing bootlegging that time.
You remember their names?
Yeah, sure I do.
What were their names?
Huh?
What were the gangsters' names?
Let's see. Now, see, I had on my mind one. Ooh, boy. Yeah. Well, anyway, I was driving a taxi for a company at that time, and I used to go out about 7 o'clock in the morning, and 2 men stopped me off, and they said they want to go down to the ferry, where the ferry boat comes in, downtown, down near the river. So I get in and get near the ferry. They say, stop a block away from the ferry. Don't go near it. Stop a block away. And they're sitting in the car waiting for the ferry to come in. So one ferry comes in, you look, no, it's not this one. Next one comes in, so yeah. So big truck comes off the ferry, covered with canvas, and the tires those days were hard rubber tires. They didn't have tires like today. Iron wheels and hard rubber. And he makes a turn along the waterfront, and he says to me, follow that truck up the avenue. So he says, pull alongside of him, on the left where the driver's sitting, pull alongside of him, and they open the door. One of them leaps onto the running board. I thought they were going to hijack him, because they had beer in there, kegs of beer. That's what I found out. So he tells the driver to move over, and he takes the truck. I said, gee, this sure is a hijack job. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. So he keep driving. The other one sat in the car. So he drive up into the theater district. See, this is like 23rd Street, and the other where that was about 48th Street. The theater district about 3 blocks away from the waterfront. And they go down this street here, and they come to a nightclub. And he backs the truck to the curb, and the policeman standing on the corner with his hands behind his back like nothing is happening. And the elevator comes up in the street. They take it down the bay. They had these elevators. The top of the elevator was iron, sealed. It had round beams like that, you see. And the beams would hit the door, would open up the doors, sealed metal doors, and they'd spread apart. And then the other guy was in the truck. He takes off his coat, the jacket, and he throws it into the car, and he says, just sit here and wait here. And they get to work. In no time, they unloaded that truck, and the policeman standing there with his, it's against breaking up the liquor law. They paid him off. So when they get through, they come to get their jackets, and he gives me $15. This whole ride was $1.50. He says, you can go on your way. I was happy to get away.
How much was a taxi ride then?
It was 20 cents. 25 cents for the first mile and 5 cents each quarter mile. And
did you pay for time too?
oh yeah, time, yeah. I think time was about 50 cents an hour. by the meter.
So it's a very inexpensive thing to
Very
take.
expensive, but money was, people, money was worth something those days. You know what I mean? People had money.
Mm-hmm.
See, people were buying. You come the holidays, you couldn't. Streets were jammed. Department stores. Everybody had money. Of course, you could buy something for money. If I if I made driving $800 a month, I used to have the car, my own car. I used to have store it in the garage. I used to have service. Every night I bring the car in, they'd wash it, regardless, rain, snow, or shine, or didn't matter. Vacuum inside. Clean the running gears. They call it. Had wooden wheels, the spokes, the wheels with wooden wheel spokes. They tell you fill up a bucket with kerosene with a brush, a big long wide brush, and he squash it underneath, and then take a high pressure hose and clean it. Even if it rained, all week, they'd wash it. And all they paid was $25 a month for the service and the storage, you know, a month. And I used to give the black man, I used to give him 50 cents a week. That's $2 a month. So he'd take care of good, clean it good. And gasoline was 10 cents a gallon. But that's why I made money.
Um, what if you were telling Barbara and Bob and Judy and I, if you were giving us advice for the future,
Mm-hmm.
what advice would you give us?
What advice? Listen to your parents, what they tell you.
Okay, but this is what advice do you give us to live in the future?
In the future?
Yeah.
Well, listen, the way I lived was, I respected my parents. I helped them a lot. I mean, anything they needed, which they didn't need, but I always would push
Okay,
to.
but now this is after our parents are gone. What advice do you give us?
Hmm? Well, like, the same way as I did, to take
This is after there are no more parents.
no more parents, huh?
How do you advise us to live?
How do you advise it?
How do you advise us to live?
Oh, be sincere in whatever you do, and don't squander your money. Of course, when you get old, you need it.
You need it.
You see? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
See, if I'd listened to my daughter, I wouldn't have had nothing today. I need a sports car I should buy. That's on there.
Yes. Yeah. You're gonna have to live with this.
No, I gotta live with this. Barbara, I didn't mean to say it. I forgot about it. It's Joe's fault. I just got me good. See, Joe pushed me into this here. He got me into this here.
Uh,
You know?
so you advise us to be sincere and frugal.
Frugal. I mean, not to deny yourself anything, but with a limit. You know what I mean? Because listen, I could have if I was running around, in single like this and running around, what would I do today? I'm glad I don't have to come in my children and say, look, I'm short of this, I'm short of that. See, I feel independent. And it's the best thing in the world. I didn't listen. When I had the taxi, I used to take every summer from June the 30th until Labor Day vacation. Go to the mountains of New York. There's these hotels up there with a friend of mine. He took his car. He had a runabout, he roadster, whatever they call it, roadster those days. And we go up there. We spent. I used to take my car. I used to take it in the garage, jack it up on jacks, take the license plates off, and give it back to the insurance company because I was paying $1 a day insurance. That was high, And I didn't say, I didn't deny myself anything. I had 2 months vacation. Like Sundays, I didn't want to work. I didn't work. If it rained, I didn't have nothing to do, I go out to work. I make me $20, $30, $40 in a short time. especially, you know, in the rains. And when it snowed, there was no limit about making, and then Christmas, New Year's especially, used to make $150. Go out from 3 to 8 in the morning, drive around, get all kind of drunks and everybody.
Good business.
Huh?
A good business.
It was a
on
good business.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah, good years and Christmas the same way. You know, everybody went out. The one Christmas I went out, you know, it snowed and everything. A man gave me a $5 gold piece. I wish I'd have kept it. I must have sold it. I must have given it away for $5 for 50 cents. That's right, a tip, $5 gold piece.
It's a very nice tip.
Yeah. It's money was just going for, you know, and during, you know, the bootlegging time especially, used to get people who drive with me. One man who was working late, I don't know what he was, must have been a bootleg or something, but he was dressed in like a stevedore, labor, and he got in the car. He said been working all night long. He didn't have no sleep, and how many hours before that he didn't have no sleep. And while I was in there, and he fell asleep in the car, and I tried to wake him up after I got where he wanted to go, and he wouldn't wake up. So I seen a policeman there, and a traffic policeman, you know, over there, a traffic policeman. And I went over to the policeman. I said, I got a man in here. Looks, can't wake him up. I said, he went to sleep, and I can't wake him. So I started shaking him and pushing him around. Hey, what's going on here? So, you know what he did? He left a pint of whiskey in there and was doing prohibition. I didn't know it. So when I was driving along there, I took it in the seat, I had it by the seat. So there was a garbage truck going by, you know. I took it and threw it up in the garbage can because if I get caught, they take my license and car away. Right. And one time, I tell you about the policeman I took a bribe for him, and I was driving one Sunday morning. I was working for this company. Sunday morning, we were going down the main street, and the man stopped me off. He says, look, I want you to go to this and this address about 2 blocks away and wait for me there by this house. I said, okay. And he walked there, and I drove up away from him. He came there. He said, wait, I'll come right down. Big tenement house. So he comes down with something, I don't know what it was, a sack. A sack with something about, I say it was about 3 feet high and about 2 feet wide, something, no, about 3 feet wide. And I didn't know what was in it. He said, I want you to drive me to the railroad station going to New Jersey, Jersey Railroad, New Jersey. It's none of my business what had gotten there. So I came back about 3 blocks, get on the same street again where I was going to Main Street. There's a policeman walking, and he whistled through with his fingers or whatever it was. Hey, pull over the car, pull over. So he goes over, and he opens the door. He says, what do you got in that sack there? He says, nothing, you know, I'm taking something to my friend. He says, well, let me see. He said, I can't open it. He said, how about I take you to the police station and we'll open it up. So he says, look, how much could I give you to let me get to the station? So he says to me, so I take him down there and he'll give it to the driver. You know, so I take him to the railroad station, and he had the 5-gallon can of alcohol, you know, fresh made, you know, bootleg alcohol. See, they used to distill it in the house. So he says to me, he was a foreigner. He says to me, how much should I give him? I said, give him $10. I said, he didn't bother. He said, okay, so he gave me $10. He said, and the policeman told me, he says, come back, I'll be walking the same beat around here. So I drive back, and finally I found him, you know, walking along the street, and I pulled over, and he come over to me. He says, what do you give you? I said, $10. I handed it to him. He said, oh, wait a while, give me $5. He says, I said, no, I don't want it. He said, go on, you deserve it. You helped me get the $10, so you get 5 half. So if he got caught, I'd be as guilty as he was. I never thought of it, but I knew he wouldn't get caught because it's the truth. It's unbelievable what they used to do.
It was pretty common.
Well, they all do it. Well, one night I was coming home with my own, you know, I was working for myself in Coney Island, you know, it's from the beach, Coney Island. It was 2 o'clock in the morning, and they had the traffic lights on this boulevard in the middle of, you know, and each intersection had it. And it turned, no, there wasn't a soul on the street. There was many cars over there. And I was driving along, and the lights were changed to red. And I said, why the hell should I stop at every corner? I said, nobody's on the street. So I come to the corner, I slowed down, and I kept on going. After I went about 3 blocks like that, there's a cop runs from the other side of the street across and stops me or puts his hand up. He was one, see, they used to have horse policemen, horse cops, and he wasn't supposed to be on duty, a horse police. He was in the car. What the hell's he out there? For graft. So he runs across the street. See, they have leather leggings, but he runs across the street to me, and he takes out his summons book. He says, you know what you did? I said, yes, officer. He says, you went through the whole life. I said, yeah, but nobody's on the street. Everybody's asleep. He says, that don't make no difference. The light is a light. You got to stop. So he says to me, I said, yeah, no, but I don't think I should get a ticket for that. So he's got his book, and he's got his hand like this. I got his hand like that. He's got his book. So usually I kept dollar bills in my pocket, wrapped on one side, and the big money on the other side. So I said, I'll fix you. So be right there. And he's got his hand like that. So when he put his hand there, he said, how would you show your appreciation? Same like the other. I said, I can show you. So he takes his hand away. So I go and I feel, I'll give you, I squire $3. That's all. I could give him more. I had 10, 15, 10 $5 bills. So I started about $3 bills, and I wad it up, like fold up good. My hand, he puts it in here. Okay, go on. Let him never do that again. So, okay, and boy, I flew away for $3. You imagine? I fixed it. I had a lot of experiences. But you go on all night.
Gotta go to bed sometime.
Yes. Thank you very much, Dave.
What else you want?
There's
You want
lots
to tell him the time you hit me in the head with a brick?
Oh. Let's not forget the time Joe hit his father in the head with a brick.
You was 2 years old?
Tell the guys, we've got Andy and Tom here. Tell Andy and Tom about hitting me. Me hitting you on the head with a brick.
Yeah, he was about 2 years old. He was in the yard. There was from the drain, the water coming off the roof made a little hole in the driveway going to the back into the garage, like a pothole. And I was going to fill it up and lay some bricks there. And he was playing around there. He was walking, he couldn't walk good even then, he was just about, slow. And I had a half a brick there he picks it up, and I'm bending down like that, and he went whack right in the head like that. I whacked him in his rear end. He ran in crying. That was, yeah, he deserved it.
You still have the scar, don't you?
No, I didn't have the scar.
No, it's gone.
No. But it had a little lump on it, I know. Now I got to tell Barbara. I said, Barbara, about that swan, that money. I said, don't ever tell me you buy no more sports cars.
To save her money.
Yeah, you save your money. And Barbara, you know what? I forgot about your anniversary, Barbara. I was too excited coming to St. Louis. So don't feel bad about it. I forgot to give her an anniversary card. You want to say something? Why do you have to put the light out?